Chaitanya
Prabhu
Nityananda
Sri Advaitavāda
Gora Bhakta-vrinda
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare
Yadavaya Namaha Srimadhusudam Gum Langaite Girim Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we will continue with the reading from Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrita by Srila Sachidananda Bhaktivedanta Thakur. Advaitavāda. Let us examine the basis of Advaita philosophy. In this world, all kinds of material objects you observe are classified into different categories of substances. And by subtle analysis, they eventually concluded to be inert matter. Subsequently, all objects endowed with consciousness are identified as conscious entities. The faculty by which these two types of objects are designated is a specific function of the mind and falls under the realm of logic. The task of investigating the origin of mental activities is not the function of this faculty. Yet it concludes through various analyses that both chit, consciousness, and jada, inert matter, may reside in a fundamental principle.
In the subtopics.
So, all of us saying that someone uses the neti factor.
So Prabhupada was saying that they use the neti factor.
That factor
Do you know that factor? No, not this.
is this conscious neti.
This is conscious neti.
No,
No.
this is conscious neti.
And this is conscious neti. No.
So then, some things you find are conscious, some things not.
So some things you find it conscious, some things are not.
So this is the neti principle.
So this is the neti principle.
So people are trying to figure out what's conscious and what's really matter.
So people are trying to figure out what is conscious, what is truly inert matter, purely inert matter. First, Brahman transforms into the world. In this context, an impersonal Brahman is imagined and considered as the root of both consciousness, chit, and matter, jada. It is then thought that just as milk transforms into yogurt, similarly Brahman transforms into the world. Alternatively, just as there is an illusion of silver in an oyster shell or a snake in rope, similarly the world is an illusion superimposed on Brahman.
So neti principle can only find out which has chit, consciousness, which is inert, jara.
So, through the neti principle, you can find out which is chit, which has consciousness, which is matter, jada, inert matter, jada.
So that Advaitavādis are thinking that Advaita, the Brahman, it transforms into the chit shakti.
So the Advaitavadis think that the Brahman transforms into chit factor.
Brahman is the
Brahman as the illusion of the world. This conclusion involves considerable speculation and logical analysis, but flaws are apparent at every step. There is nothing but Brahman. How can the illusion of the world arise? The example of the snake illusion in the rope is entirely ineffective because if you look at it, there must be a distinction between the rope and the snake.
class.
If the snake is considered as a part of Brahman,
Class.
then how can the illusion occur if there is no separate entity called the snake? In this case, Advaita does not hold true. Similarly, the example of silver in the oyster shell is also flawed. If the yogurt, which is transformation of milk, is compared to the world as a transformation of Brahman,
Class.
then just yogurt is the real substance. The world
Two would be.
too would be real. Thus, Advaita cannot be maintained here either. All examples used to support Advaita are logically flawed. Logic can never be established. Logic can never establish the Advaita doctrine. If logic is abundant,
If it is,
logic is abundant,
yeah, who will support this?
who will support this doctrine?
Sorry.
If it is argued that direct perception supports Advaita, that is too impossible. Direct perception itself is dualistic. And to destroy this perception, logic is employed. If it is said that the Advaita proponents rely on certain Vedic texts, those texts also contain statements supporting dualism along with those supporting Advaita. Not particular viewpoint is favored at the conclusion.
So, also have the Supreme Personality order both impersonal and personal is a thing that mentioned in the text.
So the philosophy that the Supreme Lord is both personal and impersonal is the thing that which is mentioned in the Vedas.
But this verse shows how the lateral arguments are getting the personal line also thought.
I said you much?
All the lateral arguments
All the logical arguments
which are made to support the personal line
which are made to support the impersonal Brahman
is with thought.
are basically false.
So Krishna is all of these ideas.
Krishna is both of these ideas.
Almighty, Almighty,
It is.
Solitary.
Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaneti, Tisatyate.
So, Bhagavan simultaneously the absolute truth realized as personal,
So,
otherwise, and all the just.
so Bhagavan is simultaneously realized as the impersonal truth, the localized Paramatma, and multifarious facets.
One, Bhagavan,
Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan.
personal, otherwise, and
Personality of God.
multifarious.
Impersonal, localized, and multifarious. Achintya Veda Veda Tattva is the essence of the Vedas.
Hello!
Very good. Good knowledge, medicine. Medicine.
Already.
Yeah. Upon careful examination, all Vedic scriptures teach the inconceivable simultaneous oneness and difference. Achintya Veda Veda. Here both Advaita, non-dual, and pure Dvaita, dualism. To refute conflicting viewpoints, statements supporting both perspectives has been employed at various places. In reality, pure Advaita is not the view of the Vedas. The Vedic scriptures, as a form of the incarnation of realized knowledge, are impartial. There is no particular doctrine of the Vedas, natural knowledge, common sense, Vedic scriptures, logic, direct experience, realized knowledge, direct and empirical evidence. All this do not support Advaita. It is the flawed argumentation and irrational belief that uphold that philosophy.
Uh,
I'm not understand. It's very technical. They are hearing from Guru Maharaj. Because Advaita is very confusing. Yes, basic stuff. Yes, Gurman. You should have strong basics to understand. Wow. That is not right. Don't you understand? I have to sit and study.
how Lord Chaitanya said not to hear Advaita philosophy.
So Lord Chaitanya said not to hear the Advaita philosophy.
On this verse, it was stated, it says the Vedas don't particularly claim Advaita.
So in this section, it says that the Vedas don't particularly claim Advaita.
And in some places, they say simultaneously one and different.
In some places, they say simultaneously one and different.
So, this is the Lord Chaitanya's philosophy.
So this is the Lord Chaitanya's philosophy.
Achintya Veda Veda.
Achintya Veda Aveda Tattva. As mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam 4.29.41 to 48. Because the conditioned soul is always disturbed by the bodily necessities such as hunger and thirst, he has very little time to cultivate attachment to hearing the nectarian words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The most powerful Lord Brahma, the father of all progenitors, Lord Shiva, Manu, Daksha, and other rulers of humankind, the four saintly first-class brahmacharis headed by Sanaka Sanatana, and the great rishis, sages Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulasya, Pulaha, Kratu, Bhrigu, and Vashishta and my humble self, Narada, are all stalwart Brahmanas who can speak authoritatively on the Vedic literature. We are very powerful because of austerities, meditation, and education. Nevertheless, even after inquiring about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whom we always see, we do not know perfectly about Him. Despite the cultivation of Vedic knowledge, which is unlimited, the worship of different demigods by the symptoms of the Vedic mantras, demigod worship, does not help one to understand the Supreme Powerful Personality of Godhead. When a person is fully engaged in devotional service, he is favored by the Lord, who bestows his causeless mercy. At such a time, the awakened devotee gives up all material activities or ritualistic performances mentioned in the Vedas. My dear king, Barhishman, you should never, out of ignorance, take to the Vedic rituals or to fruitive activity, which may be pleasing to hear about, or which may appear to be the goal of self-interest. You should never take this to be the ultimate goal of life. Those who are less intelligent accept the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies as all in all. They do not know that the purpose of Vedas is to understand one's own home, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead lives. Not being interested in their real home, they are illusion and search after other homes.
There is no fault to believe.
Okay, end of the quote. Bhaktivinoda Thakur continues. There is no fault to believe metaphorically that the individual soul upon liberation becomes Brahman. When the material ego is transcended, only ego of Brahman remains. However, within that Brahman, there will be still there will still be inherent three distinctions such as tasted, taster, and the act of tasting, which will, which will then become the inevitable nature of the person who has attained the state of Brahman. So,
So Krishna is called the Param Brahma.
so Krishna is called the Parabrahma.
Is the higher form of Brahma.
He is the highest form of Brahman.
And so people, this is like laziness. Finally, accept Brahman.
People just by laziness, they finally accept Brahman.
As is Brahman, Paramatma, as
Actually, there's Bhagavan, sorry, actually, there's Brahman, there's Paramatma, and then there's Bhagavan.
Bhagavan can only be realized through those service.
But Bhagavan can be
Be realized.
Bhagavan can be only realized by pure devotional service.
The devotee through devotional service realize Krishna has a supreme personality of Godhead.
Devotees who do devotional service can realize Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So this talented Tom is representing practice of devotional service.
This Navdev Dham is representing the practice of devotional service.
What time is it?
8:15.
8:15. How many would be philosophically overloaded? Okay.
Not all
If you ask them some questions, then you know.
like they use their brain, use their mind.
They like to use. They like to use your brain. Use your mind.
Okay, what is it?
What is liberation? The cessation of material identification of the soul is liberation. What is liberation? The cessation of material identification of the soul, which is the nature of consciousness, is called liberation. Liberation is a temporary phenomenon. For eternally liberated souls, liberation is not considered a concept, as they were never conditioned. What's the need of liberation? Only the conditioned souls can attain liberation. There are two kinds of soul, which will be explained while describing the pure knowledge. It cannot be said that liberation is necessary for all souls, as liberation is not the concept related to every soul. Prema is the essential truth in relation to all living beings, hence it is necessary. Prema is indeed the essential truth for all living beings, hence it is necessary. What is being repeated? According to Advaita Vedanta, Brahman is described as impersonal, devoid of energy. Even if Brahman is described as impersonal, its impersonal nature is simply stated as being distinct from the specific nature of material objects, which is also a particular quality of Brahman. If Brahman does not possess energy, then how does this created world or illusory world exist? In this philosophy, when there is no other substance beside Brahman, we are compelled to attribute the cause of this phenomenon to Brahman's energy. We conclude our refutation of Advaita Vedanta here, since our actual task remains. Our statement is merely by the fourth type of knowledge, which is called Brahma Jnana, is the distortion of Ishvara Jnana, the knowledge of the Supreme Lord. Distortion of Ishvara Jnana, the knowledge of the Supreme Lord, third type of knowledge. Knowledge of the Supreme Lord, Isha Jnana, is the seat of knowledge. Shankaracharya, Ashtavakra, Dattatreya, Nanak, Kabir, Gaurav,
Gorakshkana.
Sanatha, and Shivanarayana are all teachers who propagated fourth type of knowledge. The Suddha Jnana, pure knowledge, is the fifth type of knowledge that arises from the seat of Ishvara Jnana. The knowledge of the Supreme Lord is not Advaitavāda. Let's finish.
There was a heart has raised whole body of the rocks started to
This is the part where His Grace Gopati Krishnadas said it's too philosophical for you.
He did not say his grace.
You see,
He did not say.
you see.
say Advaitavāda is getting Advaitavāda.
You see, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is refuting Advaitavāda.
He said that certain philosophers quoted hard behind the knowledge.
He said that certain philosophers brought this knowledge, wrote down this knowledge.
He's saying Advaitavāda was saying that they say Brahman has no energy.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, they say Brahman has no energy.
What and how material world illusion created.
But they say that material world is the illusion created.
So the illusion, yes, you have to consider that Brahman has energy.
So to have illusion, you have to consider that Brahman has energy.
Brahman has energy that in itself gives a possibility of the Lord.
So if Brahman has energy, that itself would refute the, the views of the Advaitavāda.
Actually, Krishna, Supreme Personality, has energies.
Actually, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has energies.
Those energies creates world's spiritual existence.
And those energies create the material world and the spiritual existence.
So, the philosophy of the thought is not very good.
The philosophy of Advaitavāda is not very good.
Instead, philosophy of Jñāna-vicāra makes more sense.
Instead, the philosophy of Achintya-Bheda Tattva makes more sense.
We should accept Lord Chaitanya and the personality of Godhead.
So we should accept Lord Chaitanya and the personality of Godhead.
Haribo!
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 Shri Shri Radha Madhava Sakhivranda Mayapur Chandra Giriraj Maharaj ki
Jai!
Shri Pancha Tattva ki
Jai!
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Nitai Pada Kamala ki
Jai!
Shri Shri Prahlad Krishna Deva ki
Jai!
Shri Prabhupada ki
Jai!
Guru Maharaj ki Jai Gaur Premanande.
So we will announce about the cake, the Mataji.
Oh,
Mataji, I have the name.
okay. One Mataji from Gangtok, Sunita Mataji, Madhukanta Prabhu's, yeah. Guru Maharaj, she is from Madhukanta Prabhu's temple, so please bless her, Guru Maharaj.
Krishna Krishna
Also, Guru Maharaj, today the birthday of Moshami Mataji. She is doing book distribution here in Mayapur. Can you stand, Mataji? Stand up. They have a birthday cake there. And then please
There's
give
also one
blessings to her. Everybody can chant and bless her to continue book distribution and become Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
There's also a devotee who's here for the shelter. What's his name? Anusha Mataji. Okay, please chant the mantra after me. Only
Say it in English.
Chant in English.
Yeah, say that in English.
Chant Hare Krishna.
She's taking shelter, Guru Maharaj. Say the mantra in English.
Say hi, Krishna. English.
Say Hare Krishna in English. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Say it in Mongolian.
Say it in Mongolian. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. Okay. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Itinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namao Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swamin Itinamine Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripapradayine Gaurakatha Damadaya Nagaragrama Tarine Esha Pushpanjali Shri Jayapataka Swami Gurave Namaha.
Okay, opening for the mass. So,
Yeah, she looks so good. Okay.
Why are you getting sweating? You have that much.
Water in my body.
okay.
I'll go and ask everyone. What is Vikara?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Right, there is a physical book table. There is a physical book table. Please grasp the opportunity to participate in distributing Srila Prabhupada books. How many would you like to read and distribute Srila Prabhupada books? Please raise your hands. I don't see much. I don't think so. You know reading. Okay, for those who are physically present, so this transcendental lotus rooftop, there is a physical book table of Guru Maharaj only for you placed or you left near the gate, and please do visit for your before you leave. And welcome to Guru Maharaj's virtual book table from Siddha Mayapur. Srila Prabhupada's quote on 7th June 1968 to Gargamuni Prabhu. The best process for selling books is to get them reviewed by various important papers. There are hundreds and thousands of influential papers in your country, and if the books are reviewed, they will be quickly sold. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. And from the physical book table, we have Chitra Malini, Keshavi Devidasi, 2 Gitas, and Mosami Devidasi, 1 Gita. And our Nitya Sevaites, Balachandra Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi, Balabrinda 4 small books. And from Kasadesh, Damini Devidasi and her family, 1 Gita and 10 small books. And this is a perfect example. This is a 10:1 ratio and fulfilling the commitments of Guru Maharaj to Srila Prabhupada. And Wang Lam Yu, 1 Gita. Jai Srila Prabhupada's transcendental book distribution key. Also, these devotees get a special Narasimha Puja and Pures from now in Siddha Mayapur. All of you devotees also bless them, calling out loudly after me, Nitai Gauranga! Please pass on this wonderful opportunity of participating in the pastime of Guru Maharaj in distributing Srila Prabhupada books, even if it is a single Bhagavad Gita and just 10 small books, as it is 1:10 ratio. Please do WhatsApp Guru Maharaj virtual table anytime to announce your contribution at +91 94 34 76 04 02 +91 94 34 76 04 02. Stay tuned for tomorrow's Lord Chaitanya's class. Now prayers, let's do an intense prayer for the speedy and full recovery of Guru Maharaj. And of course, our prayers include for all those whose name not arrived but are celebrating their anniversaries today for their well-being and blissful in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, dear devotees. Let us offer our humble and respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.